Hello and welcome to Home Business Specialist, the program designed to empower you to be a successful home business entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us in our studio this afternoon. And my name is Bola, and my co-presenter today is
Eddie.
Together we're going to be talking about how you can succeed in running your home business. And this afternoon, or today, we're going to be focusing more on one of the major challenges of being a home business entrepreneur, and that is the time element of running your business successfully. So come along with us on this journey today as we find out and talk together about things that will help you be a more successful home business entrepreneur. Today,
we're looking at home time management, staying focused on your goal. And the first thing we want to talk about in time management of your home business entrepreneur, as a home business entrepreneur, is to write down your goals. Write down your goals. It sounds so simple, but again, it's very, very critical. It's important that you write down a set of goals, one for your business, on the short term, on the short term, for your business on the medium term, and for your business on the long term. And apart from that, you need to also set daily goals. What are you going to be doing first thing in the morning? I will advise that you write down your goals for every single hour you are going to be working on your business. It's very important because anything you fail to write down, chances are that you will never do them. And so write down your goals. It's one of the first things you must learn to do as a home business entrepreneur.
Very true. A goal that is not measurable is a goal that you don't know whether you've achieved or not. So I want to say, just in line with what Eddie said there, when you write down your goal, make sure it's something you can measure. That is, I'm going to call 100 people this week. Then you can break that down, like Eddie said, into I'm going to call 20 people on Monday. So you know where you are at. If you have called only 5 people, if you've called 15 or whatever, I'm going to make a presentation of my business to 10 people this week. If you've done only 1, you know where you are. You know what you need to do in order to achieve the rest. So make sure that it's a measurable goal. In addition to that, also set up alerts. Set as simple as they sound. All the things we're going to talk about today are going to sound very simple to you, but you'll be amazed what just practicing them will do to your business. Set up alerts. That is, when you're chatting with somebody and it's time to end that chat, an alert comes up to let you know that it's time to do the next thing. It's very easy for some of us to get carried away, particularly those of us that are very charismatic and people-oriented. You're talking to one client, it is time to wrap up the discussion, you have gone off tangent, you're still talking about other things or listening to them. If you don't have an alert, you don't know when to stop. So you still think, well, I'm still building my business anyway. It is. However, you're doing the right thing at the wrong time, and at the end of the day, you will not have achieved as much as you should have simply because you didn't have alerts. At the end of an hour, what have I done this hour? If you've given yourself a task to do in 2 hours, set up an alert. After 2 hours, it tells you, you round up. Or 15 minutes before the 2 hours, you start rounding up because it's time to do the next thing. And we really believe very strongly that that will help you, Eddie.
Exactly. Talking about setting up alerts, you should look for a very simple system that can help you. There are so many online systems out there that can help you structure your time in such a way that the right email goes out at the right time, the right reminders come up at the right time, your time is booked out or blocked out so you know that you are not available for specific things. So look for a system that you can use to manage your alerts. Secondly, also look for a system that is mobile. Look for a system that is that can easily link to your telephone system if you're a telephone person, or your BlackBerry system if you're a BlackBerry person, or your iPad system if you are an iPad person. So look for a system that can organize you in terms of setting up alerts.
Microsoft Outlook, very simple tool, Outlook. However, if you set alerts up on Outlook, they begin to annoy you after a while because it keeps popping up. Because it pops up every 5 minutes, you have to physically choose to dismiss it or snooze it. So it's like the alarm clock in the morning that wakes you up. You have to keep on snoozing until you get fed up of snoozing, and by the time you snooze 5 times, you have to wake up anyway because it takes energy to snooze. So by the time you start, snoozing it on your Microsoft Outlook, after a while, you must choose to dismiss or to act based on what you've put in your system.
Exactly. So the third thing we have here is to learn keyboard or mouse shortcuts. Depending on the type of home business that you do, you find that look for shortcuts, look for easy ways of doing things. If your home business involves having to do things on a computer, look for shortcuts. Get a book, and you'll be amazed of how these little things can help you save time. You'll be amazed how long it takes you to drag your mouse, and so it's very simple keyboards skills. The Control S, the Control V, Control C for copying, and Control V for pasting. Just the little things that you know. I remember a few years ago, I was on a particular course, and I was paired up with a gentleman from Budapest. So we were sharing the same computer, and the whole idea was that we were supposed to work as a team in doing this a particular assignment. And he kept complaining that I was slow, and he kept complaining I was slow. And so I sat back to really observe what he does, and I realized that when the instructor tells us save your work, before I reach out to grab the mouse, he will have done something on the keyboard that would have saved the work. And over a period of time, he started complaining that he needs another partner because because I was too slow. He was faster with a keyboard than myself trying to reach out to grab the mouse and then move the mouse to click the save button. And so with a little bit of control this or control that, he was able to control the entire assignment. So ensure that you learn some keyboard skills. Also, it may not relate to computers, but find out from your mentors or your coaches in this particular line of work what works. Do not reinvent the wheel. Do not reinvent the wheel. So find out, there are shortcuts to what you are trying to achieve. Find out if there are faster ways. So when we talk about shortcuts, we are just talking about faster ways of doing the same thing. So is there a faster way of doing this thing? Or is this activity itself, is this redundant? If it's a redundant activity, then maybe I shouldn't be doing it at all. But the baseline is ask questions, learn keyboard skills, and find shortcuts and faster ways of doing what you are doing.
Very true. Another one, in our opinion, is organizing your emails. It's amazing how much time emails and responding to them takes out of your day. I remember when we were running a particular business, I remember Eddie calling me one day and saying, you will not believe that the better part of this morning I have just spent responding to emails. Now, it would have been good if it was orders that clients were placing with us. But it could be a nightmare if it's just an administrative thing. Somebody, your telephone supplier asking you a question, somebody asking you to fill a questionnaire, something that does not take your business forward. And it's just amazing. If you go on 1 week's holiday and come back, if you're anyone like me, you come back to an inbox that has over 300 emails. Now the question is, where do you start from? And for many of us, there are junks, there are true emails, there are emails from friends, there are forwarded emails that you don't even need to bother yourself opening at all. All of these things are there. If you don't organize your emails, you don't know how to prioritize your work. So find a way of organizing what is important, what relates directly to the business. Even within the emails that come for the business, there are some that are orders, there are some that are after order care, there are some that are just administrative things, there are some that are questions from prospects that you have spoken to in the past. So organize your emails, don't open everything at every time, and then also have specific times of the day you respond to emails. I realized a while ago when I made up my mind that I was going to be responding to emails. Some of us have computers that have email alerts. So every time an email drops into your inbox, your computer tells you stop whatever it is you're doing, and you quickly go and click your email. And if you have the habit of responding to every email, whether you believe it or not, that has taken a bit of your time. particularly when you're doing something else. But if you make up your mind that you will be checking your emails 3 times a day and respond to all of them, then you write a message on your message board that I will be checking, thank you for this email, I will be checking my emails at 12 noon, at 3 p.m. and at 6 p.m. So people know. And they respect that, and they expect you to come back to them at that time. So they check their time, they know. So nobody is upset if you don't respond at a particular time. So if you want to manage your business better, you need to be able to manage your time when it comes to emails. As lovely as they are, as a very good way of communication as they are, they could be your greatest nightmare when it comes to managing your time.
You cannot do everything. And so find people that you can delegate some of your work to. For example, if you work within a team, work within it. If you work within the area of the team that maximizes your strength, and then delegate the area that you are not good at. You know, we talks about staffing your weakness, and so you will find, say for example, if you are not good at marketing, there are people who are very, very good at marketing, and so outsource or delegate that part of your business to someone else to do, for a fee, if possible. And so if you are not good at closing, so maybe your strength is just prospecting. Prospecting means getting people to see what you have to offer. If your strength is prospecting, and then so focus on prospecting, and then allow other people to do your presentation for you. And if your strength is presentation, then look for organizations that help you prospect and expose your business. So what that then means is that the moment people respond to the prospecting system, it comes to you, and then you can then do your own presentation. But the bottom line is try to delegate your responsibility. You cannot do everything. Another thing you want to ensure you delegate is your leadership training and development. And so make sure you subscribe to a leadership training and development organization or course that will help you throughout the time you spend running your business.
Yeah, I just remember the story of a friend of mine. She had a home-based business as well, and she absolutely detested and hated administration. Paperwork is her greatest weakness ever. So she's good at the business, she just hates paper. However, she thought, I don't have additional money to hire someone that will be coming in and sorting out my paperwork and my filing. However, there are people out there that need administrative work experience. So she decided to place an advert on your regular, corner shop, Gumtree, and places like that. And she got someone that was ready to be coming to her office, home office, to come and help her once a week, so that he can get a reference for, being able to do administrative role. It was a mother that had been out of work for a while. She wants to go back into administrative role, and she needed, a reference that she's been doing this. So she started volunteering one day every week to come help this friend of mine with administrative role. Now, that saved her a lot of time and saved her a lot of heartache. And, because it was paperwork, 9 times out of 10, she's busy looking for this paperwork later down the line. Because she's not good at finding or saving items, she's busy looking for them now. Because somebody comes in and sorts it out for her, it saved her so much time and increased her productivity. So be very mindful of the fact that if you delegate your work responsibility, you probably can produce more. And it doesn't need to cost you money. Mm-hmm. Another thing is the whole issue of doing tough tasks at your peak time of the day. There are peak times in every single day. Now, for many of us, it's the morning time. You take your coffee, for some of us that are into things like that, and then you are awake and alert. Now, what we tend to do is you tend to do things you find easier at the time you find more convenient. Because naturally, if something is not easy for you, you keep procrastinating about it. It's just the way we are naturally. And because of that, you probably don't, whatever it is you're not comfortable doing. So if you're not a paperwork kind of person, you say, well, I'll do it later in the day, I'll do it in the night. And you just keep on postponing it. If you're not a confrontational person and you have a client that is upset about something, you don't want to make the phone call. If you're not somebody that knows how to close a business, you don't know how to make the phone call to make that close or prospect or whatever it is. So you keep pushing the task. I want to encourage you, in order to manage your time better, do those tough tasks at your peak hour in the morning. So the first 3 hours, the first 2 hours, do things that will move your business forward. This and ask yourself the question, this task, I know it's tough, but will it move my business forward? If the answer is yes, go for it, and go for it early enough.
Absolutely. Now, you find that when you do that, you maximize your productive time. And so doing tough tasks during peak hours, or doing a revenue-enhancing task during your optimum hour. So maybe the first couple of hours, few hours, the first 3-4 hours of the day, when you resume at your desk, you want to spend doing those things that are very, very productive and responding to things that are of high priorities. And so the next thing we want to talk about is use your diary effectively. Now we are talking about time management, how to manage your time as a home business entrepreneur. You want to learn to use your diary effectively. Most people do not stick to their time. And you find that if you use your diary effectively, you will learn to do the right thing at the right time. And so if you have a time set aside to respond to emails, make sure you stick to the routine. So when we talk about using your diary effectively, we are talking about sticking to a set routine in your diary. And so there are times you want to be client-facing, there are times you want to be prospecting, there are times you want to be closing. Ensure that your diary is well utilized. I want to also encourage you to. There are various types of diary systems again out there that you can use. Some people use the good old paper diaries. Some use electronic diaries. Whatever you use, if you're using a paper diaries, I will recommend that you have 3 highlighters. Maybe a red one, a green one, and a yellow one, just to highlight the areas that are of the activities that are of top priority to you. So get a very good diary system, whether it's electronic or it's paper-based, and then ensure that you use those diary effectively. What it does is that it ensures that you stick to a particular set of routine, and that will definitely help the productivity of your home business.
Very true. Just in addition to that, just on the tail of that is the issue of planning your day ahead in blocks of hours. Plan your day ahead in block of hours. From the day before, what exactly do you want to achieve on the next day or the next business day? Write them down. Then put them in block of hours. So you have your goals set, like I said earlier on, then put them in block of hours. This hour I'll be doing that and that and that. And like Eddie said, prioritize them, put in color codes on them, for things that are very, very important, need to be done as soon as yesterday. Put them in red. Things that will create more business for you, more money for your business, put them in red. Now, they become your top priority. If that's the case, one of the things I've come to realize, because I tend to use this diary system as well, and I tend to plan my day ahead, ticking these things or canceling them that you've done them just gives you a huge sense of accomplishment. So if you have 10 things on your list in your diary, maybe, and hopefully 4 or 5 of them would be things that lead to growing your business and making money that day. If that is the case, when you tick them off, you feel really good. Even if you have done everything on your diary by 2 p.m., do you know what you could do then? You don't have to wait for 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. You could then take the rest of the day off, particularly if it's a lovely day. So if you plan your day in block of hours and you follow it, diligently, you'll be amazed how much you achieve in little time. Absolutely.
The last we're going to be looking at today is sticking to your diary plans. I want to encourage you to stick to your diary plans. It will help you in your time management endeavor. You stick to your diary plan. Once you have it highlighted, make sure you create the discipline of sticking to your plan. Most people they write their plans, they set goals, they do everything, but what they do not do is stick to it. If you're having a conversation with someone and you know that the time has come for you to move on to the next task in your diary, sincerely excuse yourself and then move on. And so discipline for a home business entrepreneur, you have to be very disciplined in the use of your time. Be very disciplined in the use of your time. Make sure you have like we've talked about. Make sure that you plan your day ahead of time. Make sure you write down your goals. Make sure you have everything well documented. Make sure you know what you're going to do at a certain point in time, and then you just stick to it. And that will definitely help you.
Yeah, I was just thinking as well. Would you have days where you will have interruptions to your plans? Yes, there will be days like that. However, that will be the exception and not the rule. The rule is follow your plans. Yeah, things will happen on some days, but if you realize that twice every week, 3 times every week, things always interrupt your plan, I want to warn you to notice that you have changed focus, or you're not focused, or you're not really achieving what you need to achieve. For an home-based entrepreneur, time is money. And your investment is going by the second. So don't let anyone waste your time. Don't let anyone waste your money, because in a manner of speaking, your time is there to make you money. So get the time management right. You will be amazed how much result you get as a home business entrepreneur. We're here to help you achieve success in running your home-based businesses. And like Eddie usually says, if you've got any question for us and you want us to help in any way or form, send your emails to us at eddie@eddieandbola.com. eddie@eddieandbola.com.
All right. So we have looked at 9-10 ways to stay focused in your business. We said the first one is to write down your goals. The second one is to set alerts. The third, learn keyboard skills and shortcuts within your line of business. The fourth one is to organize your emails. The fifth one is to delegate responsibility and also do tough tasks during peak hours or the time you think you are best. The time you think you are most productive, and also use your diary effectively, plan your day ahead in block of hours, and then you stick to your daily plans. We have a question from one of our listeners. How do you combine your electronic diary with your paper-based diary? Now, the question is, you don't really have to combine them. The most important thing is for you to find a diary system that works. If you are a very actively mobile person, then you may need to stick to a mobile, an electronic diary. And what that means is that you can take that diary along with you anywhere if you are that way inclined. And so the good thing about electronic diaries is that you can also print them out in the form of paper. You can always print them out. So you can have your electronic system online, and it gets plugged into your mobile phone, your BlackBerry, and your iPad or your iPod. And so that's one diary system. If you are a paper-based person, then get a good old journal system, and then you manually take your appointments or schedule your activities for the day, and then plan like that. And so there may be no need for you to integrate a paper system into your electronic system. But however, the electronic system gives you an opportunity for you to actually print out and file away your schedules. And that should be the link. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I also thought that the whole Outlook system, Outlook helps a lot, in my opinion. And if you have the things you're planning to do for the day on your Outlook system, you could actually synchronize your Outlook system with your BlackBerry and all the other mobile devices as well. But in addition to that, if you're this kind of person, if you're like me, sometimes lying down in bed and remember what I need to do tomorrow. So I put them down on a piece of paper. At that point, I am not thinking about my Outlook system. I'm just thinking about all the other things I haven't thought about that I need to do in my supposed free hours. So as I plan my day, I have some free hours or hours where I do emergency things I had not pre-planned, either because some people will bring things my way that I need to do, or because of something I have not remembered that I might need to factor in. If that is the case, the first thing I want to encourage you to do the moment you get up the next day and you sit at your desk to work is go and open your Outlook system and enter into it, if you're that way inclined. Otherwise, in your BlackBerry, those things that you have jotted down by your bedside, so that it becomes part of your task for the day that would end up leading to you achieving what you need to achieve for that day as well. If you don't do that, you'll be maintaining 2 different diary systems, and you can end up looking at your Outlook and thinking, this is such a rubbish day, I've done nothing. Meanwhile, you have done so many things that you have put on a piece of paper. So the moment you get to your desk to work in the morning, load your Outlook system or your BlackBerry system, your electronic system, with the items that you have jotted down on your piece of paper. Then you have a complete view of what your day will look like. Another reason why it's good is because by the time you get to tomorrow, you can take a look at yesterday and say, oh, I did well yesterday because I did X, Y, Z. So I had only 3 things on my electronic system. However, now I've done 7 things because I remembered other things I need to do. So make it a point of duty first thing in the morning to populate your electronic system with all the things you plan to do for the day.
And so that's all we can take today. And we hope to see you some other time, sometime next week. And if you don't remember, if you have any question to ask us, please email us. And the email will be at the bottom of your screen. And from us at the studio today is have a great day.